get up over here. Grand and glorious rising to you. Happy Saturday. Happy September 12th. Happy day before my birthday. Yay. Happy Saturday to you. And we are here for our weekly antiviral message. This has been a week. And I got some good stuff for us today. So I want you to come on in, load in, Grand Rising, Salem, Winston-Salem, North Carolina, Courage Tribe. I've got to give a big up, big props to all my spiritual warriors who not only held me up this week, but rose to the occasion. Good morning, Morocco. Grand Rising to you. The spiritual warriors who not only held me up, but lifted Coach Laura. We had a medical emergency this week, and Coach Laura ended up in the hospital, and I wasn't home. I couldn't get to her, so I called on my spiritual warriors, and they sent light, they sent energy. Coach Laura is home. Trinidad and Tobago, good morning. Coach Laura is home and on the mend, and now we know what's going on, so we know what to do. Grand and glorious rising to you. Thank you, my spiritual warriors. Deep bow to you. I'm telling you, they rose up. We could feel the energy everywhere. We could feel the energy. So I just want to say thank you. Deep bow to you, UK. Deep bow, South Carolina. Good morning. Great, grand, and glorious Saturday. We are here for our antiviral message. I have a confession. I don't know which one this is. I don't know what day it is. I don't know what day it is. It's 68 or 69. Miss Angie will fix it up for me, I'm sure. Yeah, tomorrow, I'm getting closer and closer to 7 decades in this body. So tomorrow I begin to celebrate, just life. Oh my gosh. Good morning, B. Moore. Good morning, Jersey. Good morning. Somebody is super anxious and nervous, Jersey. Brooklyn, BK is in the house. Cohort 6 from the Honor Tribe. Good morning. Good morning from London. And good morning, yes, Coach Laura is home and healing. And we are just so grateful. Thank you, warriors, for rising up. Thank you for being my spiritual support, my prayer support throughout the week. Because I was away, I'm in production for Fix My Life, and I couldn't get to Coach Laura, and I was having a fit. Okay? Good morning, Atlanta. Good morning. Yeah, I'm working with this hair. It's kind of, I had to have my braids over here and my straight here, but, because we couldn't twist this. So anyway, we've got a good lesson for you this morning. Oh my goodness, I've got 2 readings. Make sure you have a pencil and a paper. Courage Cohort Tribe number 12. Good morning. I've got 2 readings for you this morning because we got some serious business we got to handle. Good morning, Louisiana. Serious business. So make sure you have a pencil and a piece of paper, okay? So that I can give you this lesson this morning. And we want to suit up this morning. Ready? We want to suit up this morning with, it's time for me to blank. What is it? It's time for me. Commitment cohort number 13. Jamaica. Canada, come on. It's time for me to what? What is it time for you to do? What is it time for you to push through? What is it time for you to claim? What is it time for you to stop? What is it time for you to begin? Good morning, Italy. Good morning to you. It's time for me to make a decision. Come on, put the whole thing so that your brain will compute. The reason I give you these suit up phrases is so that as you go through the week, it'll keep coming to you. It'll keep coming to you, Netherlands. It'll keep coming to you, right? It's time for me to what? It's time for me to stop gambling. Come on, because you got to get that economics, got to get that. It's time for me to start my business. Not start my business, start my business as a what? Come on, put it in. It's time for me to pivot in my career. It's time for me to forgive. You got it. Come on in now this morning. It's time for me to what? Stop taking what people say personally. Yes, the 4 agreements. Don't take anything personally. It's time for me to what? It's time for me to commit to my work. Yes, it's time for me to move forward. Good morning, Little River, South Carolina. Come on, it's time for me to move to Bermuda. Yeah, it's time for me to start my license as a massage therapist. This is what I'm talking about. So put the whole phrase, because you're putting that groove in the mind, okay? You're putting that groove in the mind. That's why I give you a whole sentence. Don't just put the word. It's time for me to discern what I need to do. Listen, it's time for me to rest, okay? It's time for me to rest, and I'm ready to do that. Guadalupe, good morning and welcome into the global living room. Who's going to Bermuda? I know, right? I want to go too. It's time for me to really get serious about buying my house on the water. I want a house on the water, and I'm going to get one. It's time for me to vote for my values. Yes, it's time for me to claim my power. Put the whole sentence, Australia. It's time for me to what? It's time for me to stop trying to save my family. Come on, somebody. You can't save nobody. You can't save yourself from a bag of Lay's potato chips. How you going to save another person? Do your work and be a demonstration to them. If you do your work and you're a demonstration for them, they will do what's required for them to save themselves. Stop trying to save people. We can't save nobody. It's time for me to let love in. Yes, it's time for me to release fear. We're going to do some of that today. It's time for me to what? It's time for me to get my sewing machine. Come on. Yeah, I had to put mine in the shop. My machine is in the shop. Y'all didn't know I sew? Yes, I do. I sew. I mean, I can tell. I can make a suit, a coat, a dress, whatever it is. It's time for me to express the divine within me. Yes, it's time for me to deepen my spiritual practice. Come on. It's time for me to end the relationship I know I shouldn't be in. Come on, somebody. Y'all are talking some hallelujah truth this morning. It's time for me to put myself first. It's time for me to write my story. Listen, write your story and don't worry about it being a best-selling book. Don't worry about always, we got to stop lusting for fame and fortune and just do it, because the 10 people who read your book, they may change their life and you may never get on the bestseller list. Just do it. It's time for me to get serious about my business. It's time for me to clean up my credit. It's time for me to stop worrying about other people. It's time for me to stop being afraid to use my talents. Come on, that's what I'm talking about. It's time. The time is coming. Time waits for nobody. Can you believe that this is September? That the year is almost over? I got a confession. I still got Christmas lights in the garage. I never put them back. I ain't going back now. I'm going to keep them right out and bring them right out. It's time for what? It's time for me to get focused. That's what I'm talking about. Activate my talents. Come on. And it's not only activate your talents, but it's time for you to get the divine guidance needed to activate your talents. Time for you to deepen your spiritual practice. It's time for you to release toxic energy. Come on. It's time for me to really get serious about my purpose. Come on. It's time for me to introduce these tools to my daughter. I love that one. Come on. Come on in. Come on into the global living room. We got a good root phrase that we're suiting up with this morning. It's time for me to accept the sexual side of myself. Yes. Do you know your sexual energy is your creative energy? It's creative energy. So it's time for us to really be able to get into that. What am I smelling? Something smells like it's burning, but I haven't cooked nothing, ain't nothing on, so I'm just going to leave that. It's time for me to keep my mind on my purpose. Time for me to get focused. Time for me to stop wasting time. Come on, somebody. It's time for me to be the CEO of Elder Care. Yes, come on. It's time for me to shift into my identity. It's time for me to be divine. It's time for me to get still. It's time, come on. This is what I'm talking about. Take it in, breathe, come on, dig deep, dig deep. It's time for me to what? It's time for me to what? What is the time for you to do? What is the time for you to embrace? What is the time for you to stop? What is the time for you to claim? What is it time for? That's the time. You know why? Because fall is coming. Seasons are changing. We're coming out of summer where we were resting and having fun, well, as much as we could with the corona lurking around every corner. But now times are changing, and we don't understand in this hemisphere that fall is the time when you harvest, and fall is the time when you prepare to plant, okay? Fall is the time. Last year, Spiritual Spa, we did all fall up. All fall up. If you didn't get it, go back and look at it. All fall up. So this is the time for us to begin planning for planting. Planning for planting, okay? It's New Year in Ethiopia. That's right. See? It is. It's New Year. So it's time for you now to be planning for planting. It's time for me to stop. I lost that one. All right? Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Yes, it is. It is. It is time for me to deepen my relationship with God. It's time for me to stop being comfortable. Somebody just slapped me with a wet sock. I'm telling you, we've got to get out of being comfortable, because comfortable sometimes keeps us in fear, all right? It's time for me to get grateful, to give thanks for my blessing. That's what I'm talking about. Come on, dig. Come on, dig. I'm going to give you 30 more seconds. Come on, dig. It's time for me to stop being comfortable. It's time for me to stop pleasing other people. It's time for me to stop worrying about what other people think I should be doing. It's time for me to stop carrying on the ancestral, generational, habitual patterns that do not serve the truth of who I am today. That's mine, okay? It's time for me to own the truth of who I am and stand in my truth. Yes, it's time for me to tell the truth. It's time for me to find the truth. Time for me to seek the truth. Time for me to start my business as what? Listen, if the corona didn't teach you, you can't depend on a paycheck. I don't know what is. You got to get time for me to declutter my mind. Yes, so you can declutter your home. I tell you what, do it the other way. Declutter the home and it'll open up spaces in the mind. How about that? Okay, declutter the home and it can open up spaces in the mind. I don't know. I have this drive. I want to go through all my dresser drawers and throw out everything except what I've used in the last 3 months. Ooh, now for a Virgo, that's hard. That's hard, but I'm gonna do it. Okay, come on in. Come on in. It's time for me to what? I want you to hold this thought. Work with this thought all week. Don't worry about the how. Let's just get the what. Don't worry about the how. Let's just get the what. And we're invoking the thing. It's time for me to what? It's time for me to what? I want you to work with that. It's time for me to purge. Yes. It's time for me to declutter. Yes. It's time for me to believe in myself. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. So we're planting these seeds because we're moving into fall. We're moving into fall, y'all. Time for planning and planting, not reaping right now. Time for planning and planting. Good morning, Buffalo. How y'all doing up there? I saw on the news that it was 52 degrees and it's snowing in Colorado. Somebody hit me with a wet sock. You coming in? You're in? And so we begin. Come on. Grand and glorious rising to you on this incredible, incredible day. Yes, come on, breathe. Let's just breathe. And let's get into the flow of the shifting times and the shifting energy, moving from summer into fall, when things start to fall away. Yeah. Things become, things that are worn out, things that have served their purpose will start to fall away. Come on, breathe. So if we want to be in the fall, the flow of fall, we got to be willing to let some things and people fall away. And I'm going to talk to you today. Like I said, I hope you got pencil and paper because I got 2 good lessons for you, okay? Come on, breathe. And let's just relax. If you can, I want you to put your feet flat on the floor. Place your palms right on your thighs and let them be facing upward. Yeah. And relax. Relax your shoulders. Relax your belly. Let the chair or the sofa or whatever you're sitting in just support you. Relax. And the way that you do that is a nice deep inhale. And let it out with a nice good. Again, long, deep inhale. And let it out with a nice. I think I shared with you before that sound is the most ancient sound for the name of the Creator, God. Amen. Pa ta bu ta Jehovah. I don't care what culture, what religion, what tradition you come from, is a sacred sound. So take a nice deep inhale, fill your being with the essence and the energy of life of the Creator, and then spill it into your environment. Focus on your feet for a moment. Focus on your feet for a moment. Feel as your feet touch the floor or wherever they are right now. And I want you to see, feel, imagine, intended to be so, that right in the middle of your feet, right in your arch, there's a faucet or a hose. And I want you to open the hose and take an inhale and push all of the energy right out that faucet at the bottom of your feet. Push it down into the earth. You can't do it wrong. Just breathe in and push all of your energy out the bottom of your feet. Down into the earth, planting and planting. Because the earth will take what we give it and turn it into something good. So if you've got any discordant, inharmonious, anxious, stress-filled energy in your body, take a breath in and push it out the bottom of your feet. Yeah. Now just relax. Again, relax your shoulders. Relax your belly, relax your hips, and breathe in and let it out. It's almost as if you're saying, come to me, Father, Mother, blessed one. In and relax. Check your feet. How do they feel? Check your ankles. How do they feel? Check your calves, your legs. Just feel it. Feel it. Just be present in your body. How does it feel? Check your knees. How does it feel? Now, on the inhale, we want to focus from the knee to the calf to the ankle and then push that energy out the bottom of your feet. On the inhale, inhale. From the knee down, push. Let it flow right out the bottom of your feet. You can't do it wrong. Now, check your thighs. Breathing in. Your hips. Right across your pelvic region. Feel it. How does it feel? And anything you're walking on, standing on that no longer serves you, from the hip down, we're going to take a breath in and push it out the bottom of our feet, okay? Inhale. From the hip down, push. You might feel a little tingling in your feet. That's okay. Releasing the energy, all right? We're at the hip and the pelvic region now. Now I want you to go around the back to the base of your spine. Come up. Come up your back. Now come around to your belly, right under the breast. So we're doing belly to pelvis, around the back, the base of the spine. I want you to just focus your attention there. See what it feels like. Focusing on all of those organs in that area, your digestive organs, your colon, your pancreas, your kidneys. And on the inhale, we're going to breathe that energy from our belly all the way around our back. Breathe it in. And when we let go, we're going to push it down out the bottom of our feet. And exhale. You can't do it wrong. You can't do it wrong. Okay? Now come on up from the belly. From the ribs to the breast. Around the back to your shoulder blades. Up to your shoulders. Over your shoulders. Down. So we're working from the rib cage, around the shoulder blades, up over the shoulders. Feel the energy. Just focus your attention there. That's all you have to do. Focus your attention there. And when we exhale, we're going to push that energy all the way down our body, out our feet, okay? Inhale. From the shoulders down, push. Good. You can't do it wrong. You can't do it wrong. We're just moving energy out, yeah? And then we're going to call energy in. Now, from your shoulders, just focus your attention down, both your arms, your upper arm, your armpits, your elbows, your lower arm, your hands, your fingers. Just focus your attention there. Just think about it. That's what I mean when I say focus your attention. And how does it feel? How do your fingertips feel? How do your fingers feel? The palms of your hands, your wrists, your lower arm, your elbows, your upper arm, your shoulders. How does that feel? We're going to take a breath in, and then we're going to push the energy from our arms down through our body, out the bottom of our feet. Come on, inhale and push. Good. Focus on your neck. Sometimes that neck gets a little stiff, particularly when we're sitting at the computer. Just roll it around a little bit. Yeah. Focus on your chin, your jawline, and your ears. Come on. Focus on your eye sockets, your forehead. Just focus on your hairline. Just focus. See how it feels. Now, this time, when we exhale, instead of pushing down, we're going to push up right out the top of our head, okay? You can't do it wrong. Inhale, think up, and exhale. Again, inhale, think up, exhale. Now just relax. See how your body feels. Check every little part. Knees, hands, belly, butt, back. See how you feel. If there's anything you want to release, breathe in. Push it out the bottom of your feet. Now I want you to see, feel, imagine, intend it to be so. That right above your head, there's a brilliant light bulb. Let's call it a light bulb, okay? Or you can call it a cloud of white light. Whatever you want to call it. We know that this is the presence of divinity, that we have breathed. And when we inhale, we want to pull that light bulb, that white light down into our body, okay? Inhale and exhale. Once again, inhale and exhale. Pull the light in, inhale and exhale. Now, you are brilliant, blazing in white light. Feel it. See it, feel it, imagine it, intend it to be so, that from the top of your head to the soles of your feet, you are just glowing. Yes, your brain is glowing, your eyes are glowing, your throat is glowing. Your shoulders, your shoulder blades, everything is glowing. Just breathe and glow. Your heart is glowing. Your liver, your pancreas, your esophagus, your everything. Just feel it. You can't do it wrong. Just imagine that you are filled with brilliant, glowing light. It could be for some the Christ light, for others the Buddha light, for others divine light, the light of the mother. It doesn't matter what it is. Come on, light up. Breathe it in. Yeah. Now, in this light, where we're all drawn to our brilliance, where we're all connected, mind, body, spirit. Yeah. Let us see, feel, imagine, intend it to be so, that we are sending this light, this power, this brilliance out to California, wherever the fires are burning. Let's send light to those people who have been displaced, those people who have lost their homes, those people who have been evicted. It's California, it's Portland, it's all around. Come on, breathe. And we send brilliant, divine light. You know, people are talking about everything except the people and the land. The land is scorched. Over 3 million acres of land have been scorched. And people have been displaced. Come on, breathe. And we send them light and energy. We send them healing and blessing. We send a halt to destruction. Hold that in your mind. We ask the divine light, the divine energy of peace and safety to surround wherever those fires are burning, to contain them, that the people will be safe, that the homes will be spared, that the children won't be frightened, that the crops won't be destroyed. I'm telling you, there's something going on here. Breathe. We're focusing on everything, and the earth is screaming out, crying. Let's just send light and send love. And if you will, join me by placing your left hand over your heart and your right hand over your left hand. And let us affirm and know and decree, may there be peace. May there be healing. May all destruction end. May the people be safe. In the name of whatever is sacred to you. Yeah, people are losing their homes. Things that they've worked for years and years. People are losing their jobs. The migrant workers who lived on those fields, and the land is losing trees. Do you know that we need trees for oxygen? 3 million acres of land. May there be peace. May there be healing. May the destruction end. May the people be safe. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. How do you feel? Checking in on your body. Checking in on your body this morning. I've got good readings for you. So I want you to take time, really be present. That's why I wanted us to be in the light this morning. Yeah. Yes, thank you so much. We got to remember those folk out there who are, suffering. Right. All right. And listen, as you go through this week, remember anything that you don't want, anything that's troubling you, just get still for a moment and push it out of the bottom of your feet into the earth, because the earth knows how to take things and make them good. And the earth is ablaze right now. Okay, yeah, so we can send things there. Okay? All righty, you ready? Here we go. Healing rage. Women making inner peace possible. Healing Rage by my dear friend Ruth King. Beautiful, 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 beautiful sister. Healing Rage. Don't put in that thing, what's the name of the book? Don't do that. Healing Rage. If you miss it, go back and look at the tape. Okay? Healing Rage. I wanted you to be clear this morning. Healing Rage by Ruth King. I picked this because of all the things that I've been hearing this week. And people are just, people are just getting sucked up in the crazy. All right? I'm reading from chapter 11 in Healing Rage. And this says, look in before acting out. Look in before acting out. I'm reading from Healing Rage. This is a book about women making inner peace possible, but it's about rage. Okay? Okay, here we go. Listen. Listen. Healing rage does not mean we eliminate or never feel rage. We will continue to be provoked in the world, thrown off center, and at times will need to dress up in our disguises. Because sometimes you can't just be pissed off right there, okay? Yet, each time we react in a knee-jerk fashion to rage, instead of responding thoughtfully, we betray ourselves. Did you hear me? Listen. Each time we react in a knee-jerk fashion to rage, instead of responding thoughtfully, we betray ourselves. And do you know, if you're carrying self-betrayal within you, you set it up to attract people who will betray you. I'm going to say that again. If you carry self-betrayal within you, you will set it up to attract people who will betray you. All right? We give our rage child away. We give our rage child away and will her truth over to some other power. In us, listen, men, women, black, white, 8 to 80. There is a little person in us. The memory of a little person, a child, who used to feel rage. But since we don't allow children to express their emotions, that part of our mind, that part of our consciousness learns to suppress it. Doesn't go away, learns to suppress it. And we hold that on. And then when we get older, we be acting out like park apes and can't understand why. That's why I'm reading Healing Rage. Because what's going on in the world right now is stirring up rage within us. Stirring up rage. Okay, here we go. We deplete ourselves of vital energy before it has fed us. And then we feel ashamed because we are vulnerable, overexposed, and underprotected. Did you hear that? When we react and express rage because that little child in there has never been healed, then we get ashamed and we feel vulnerable because we're overexposed and unprotected. When we are triggered, listen, when we are triggered by aggression or the ignorance of others, hear me, let me say that again. When we are triggered by the aggression or the ignorance of others, an accumulation of anger, shame, and fear can brim over. You know, when you just act out, when you just be striking out and cussing people and acting a pure default at work, in the supermarket, on the road, it just brims over. It's an accumulation. Has nothing to do with what's going on right now. Okay? The Course in Miracles says, I'm never upset for the reason I think. I'm upset because I only see the past. And this moment will trigger that accumulation that I've had from the past. Okay? Listen. When we are triggered by the aggression or ignorance of others, which is on full display right now, the ignorance of certain people is on full display right now. Okay? An accumulation of anger, shame, and fear can brim over. What we do next is not only critical, but it is within our control. We think that when that energy comes up and it brims over and we go ape on somebody, that is not in our control. But Healing Rage is saying it is in your control. It is in your control. We got to stop giving our control. We got to stop feeling helpless and hopeless moment by moment. This is what she says. What we do next is not only crucial, but also within our control. Listen. To respond outwardly in a responsible way requires that we understand our inner rage experiences. In other words, you got to remember what you're angry about. You got to remember what pissed you off at 5, 6, 7, 8. You don't have to write a book about it or buy real estate there, but you have to remember, oh, this is reminding me of, okay, this is stirring up. Okay? Here she says, here is the exercise. She says, the following exercise teaches us how to examine our thoughts to better understand our rage experiences. wait a minute. Did I miss a page? What happened? 11. All right. When you understand your rage experiences, you learn to speak truthfully and mindfully without harming others or yourselves. When we learn to listen, to trust ourselves, and to take action on our own behalf, we can move through the rage without hurting ourselves or others. All right? So, when you feel like you just want to strike out, you got to remember, okay, let me take a breath. Push it out my feet. All right? Push it out my feet before I open my mouth. And you've already had the experience of that this morning. How about that? And then you can, okay, this is reminding me of what? The thing that we don't realize is you can get answers like this because it's already in there. I'm going to talk to you about that. All right? Healing Rage by Ruth King. All right? It's really a book for women. Helps them to heal sexual abuse. But it's just got so much good stuff in here. Men can use it. I don't care who you are. If you know you got rage, and when you start getting triggered and you be freaking out on people. All right? Healing Rage. Now, this is another thing I wanted to say to you this morning. You know this book is important to me because it's bound. All right? This is what this book is. The Body Keeps Score. The body keeps score. All right? Which is emphasizing the same thing she says. A lot of our rage doesn't have anything to do with what's going on right now. It has to do with what we couldn't express when we were little. Yeah, things upset us today, but we're good adult thinking people. But when we haven't acknowledged or healed or released the rage from childhood, from abuse, from violence, from whatever, it gets accumulated. And it shows up today. Why? Because the body keeps score. The body keeps score. I want to read this to you this morning. All right? It says, running for your life. Running for your life. This is a book about healing trauma. Verbal trauma, psychological trauma, emotional trauma, sexual trauma, physical trauma. This book is about that. And I'm going to tell you why I'm talking about all of these things later. But I've given you a tool. Push it out the bottom of your feet. Listen to this. This thing right here, the body keeps score. Let me tell you the author, because I forgot the author. Okay. Bessel van der Kolk. I don't know how to say that. Bessel, B-E-S-S-E-L. Van, D-A-N-D-E-R-K-O-L-K, M-D. This is a doctor. The Body Keeps Score. That's the name of the book. Brain, mind, and body in the healing of trauma. Now listen. This book is very clinical. So you might not want to run out and buy it. Or you might. I don't know. You do what you think is necessary. I would start with Healing Rage because this is very clinical about the brain and what happens. Okay? Listen. The most important job of the brain, is to ensure our survival, even under the most miserable conditions. Everything else is secondary. In order to do that, the brain needs to generate internal signals that register what our body needs. So listen, in times of difficulty, stress, trouble, trauma, the brain becomes occupied with survival, not with love and healing and growth. I got to survive this. Do you understand that since February, most of us have been in a survival mode because this corona has traumatized us? Do you get that? Please get it. Everything else is secondary. In order to do that, the brain needs to generate internal signals that register what our body needs. That's number one. 2, The brain needs to create a map of the world that points us to where we have to go to satisfy those needs and stay safe. And 3, the brain has to generate the necessary energy and actions to get us there. 4, warn us of the dangers and opportunities along the way. And 5, adjust our actions based on the requirements we need at the moment. Listen, your brain's job is to make sure you survive. And when you face trauma or anxiety or danger, whether it's real or perceived, that brain will generate internal signals to send you to get what you need, to stay safe and get away from the harm. We have been in that state since February, trying to stay safe and get away from the harm. And at the same time, we're trying to advance our life, trying to figure out who we need to vote for, trying to figure out what we're going to do without a job, trying to figure out how we're going to pay our bills. We've been traumatized. We are in trauma right now. And we must do what is required to shift out of survival mode back into our divinity. Can you hear me? Our rational cognitive brain is actually the youngest part of our brain and only occupies about 30% of the area in our skull, meaning we may know, okay, I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be okay. I'm going to get through this. I got this. I need that. But because we're in survival mode, okay, running for our lives, we still experience the trauma. And then that trauma gets added to the trauma we experienced as children. And in other words, we are a hot ass mess right now. Okay? And don't even realize it. We're running around and then we're constantly bombarded with what happened, and what's going on, and what we need to do, and we're in survival mode. The brain is trying to tell, go here, do this, go that. That's why, so if you can't sleep, if you can't eat, if you're fighting with your partner, yelling at the kids, looking around every corner, thinking that the corona is there and a cape trying to jump on you. We just been traumatized, okay? I'm not laughing because it's funny. I just want us to really understand it and lift it up, okay? Because the thing is, I'm telling you this because there's a cure, okay? But we got to first recognize what we need. That's what she said in here. We got to remember the accumulated trauma, all right? And now we understand how the brain is functioning, yeah? So we're so occupied with trying to keep it together, we can't do nothing else. But we jump up and we go to work and we put our lips on and our makeup and our eye makeup and everything, and then go out in the world and then can't understand why we're cussing each other out in the supermarket. Because I tell you, people are mean. I went to go in the market and the people is fussing and cussing and what is wrong with you? We're in trauma. Okay? Listen, the brain is built from the bottom up. It develops level by level within every child in the womb. Come on, somebody. Did you hear me? I'm going to read that again. Listen to me. The brain is built from the bottom up. It develops level by level in every child within the womb. Why is that important? It's important because some of the trauma, some of the rage, some of the survival stuff that we are dealing with today in the world, we marinated in the womb. Can you hear me? The most primitive part, the part that is already online when we are born, is the ancient animal brain, often called the reptilian brain. It is located in the brain stem, just above the place where the spinal cord enters the skull. The reptilian brain is responsible for all the things a newborn baby can do: eat, sleep, wake, cry, breathe, hunger, wetness, rid the body of toxins. The brain stem and the hypothalamus, which sit directly together, control the energy levels in the body. That was the important part. Right here, the base of your skull. That's what controlled your energy. All right? That's what controls our energy. It's still there. It's still there. And so, because the brain is occupied with survival, and because we have accumulated rage and trauma, what we have to do to start healing is stimulate this thing back here. Come on, somebody. And sometimes it can be just a quick massage. And that will balance out our survival energy. Why am I telling you all of this? I could go on and on and on. I could go on. Sometimes I need support because I say things and people think I'm making it up or I'm crazy or I'm preaching some kind of voodoo or craziness because we don't understand how powerful we are. Healing rage. The body keeps score. Let me tell you why I'm saying that to you today. Okay? This is a little challenging conversation I want to have with you. So if it's too much for you, I understand if you sign off. If you can, hang in there, breathe with me, okay? Breathe with me. I lived for 9 years in domestic violence. I had a husband, 6'4", 260 pounds, that beat me almost every day. I never knew when it was coming. The things I thought that would upset him, I would try not to do, but then it would be something else. And it was always coming from a different direction. I remember the first time he hit me. It was a backhand across my face in the street, Easter Sunday. I was on my way to my mother's house. And it was shocking. I was shocked. We had 3 children, and he had never done that. I was shocked. And so immediately after that, he said to me, "Oh, I'm sorry," and he's weeping, he's crying, and he's falling down, and and so this is my husband. And I wanted to believe him. And so I got myself together, and I wanted to believe him. Because so very often, we let what people say override what we see and what we know. We listen to their words instead of measuring their actions. Can you hear me? Anyway, this went on for years and years and years. 9 years I stayed in the marriage. Punched, beaten. When I was pregnant with my youngest child, he turned the bed over. I was in the bed, and he came home, and rather than have me question him about where he had been for 2 days, he dumped me out the bed and hit me with the bed slat and broke my jaw. I was 7 months pregnant. I'm saying that because I want you to understand. He told us, the body keeps score says it starts in the womb. I went to the hospital. But because I was 7 months pregnant, they couldn't give me the anesthesia required to wire my jaw. So they told me, they taped my face up so that it would heal. Because they couldn't give me the anesthesia because I was pregnant. And the doctor, his name was Cliff Bayburn. Clifton Bayburn. He was an intern, brother from Jamaica. After everybody left the room, he closed the curtain. He said, "I worked 72 hours straight." He said, here is the key to my apartment. I've got a bed and a sofa. He said, don't go back there. Don't go back there. Go to my apartment. And of course, as many abused women, I denied the abuse and I went back home. First, because like I said, I was shocked. And then when it happened again, I felt stupid. And then I told myself this is somebody I loved. So I didn't want him to get in trouble. Then I was ashamed that it was going on. And then he told me how much I needed him and how nobody would want me. And I had 3 kids and I was young and I believed him. I listened to his words as opposed to trusting myself. And again, I never knew when it was going to come. It was new brands of abuse. I was punched. I was slapped. I was knocked down. I was, you know, I'm not ashamed of it. I was abused and ashamed and afraid and guilty because I subjected my children to that. Until one day. I'm saying all of this to you to say this. Listen to me. This ain't political. America is an abused woman right now. This country is being abused. Some of it is unconscious and some of it is very conscious. I'm telling you what I lived. In the same way, I have an accumulation of rage in my body that I had to heal. I have the memory of domestic abuse. America is an abused country right now. And we are sleeping with our abusers. I'm going to let you figure out who that is, but I see it. I hear it. I hear it. The same way I could hear when he was working himself up to come and punch me or slap me or knock me down. America is an abused country. So for all of you out there that have experienced abuse, whether it's physical or psychological or emotional or physical, whatever it is, and you feel that rage coming up in your body, understand, it's not just because of what's happening now. It's because of what you've experienced. And don't tell yourself you don't know what's going on. We are being abused. We're being abused by the leadership of this country. I'm sorry. Ain't political. I'm talking about how we gonna heal. Okay? We are being abused. Every day. We're being lied to. We're being lied on. We're being lied about. We're being manipulated by lies. And we never know what's coming next. It's like a slap in the face. We just don't know what's coming next. And we're trying to survive. We're trying to survive. So one day, I had just had enough. I was scared. And I was afraid. And I was ashamed, but I was done. I was done. And that day I learned how to breathe. And what I learned that day, that I got to research later, was that not only in the womb do we get the trauma and the whatever it is that we're marinating in, we get something else. You know that my grandmother was a Native American, and that my mother was a first generation Dahomian here in this country. So as we're in the womb and our brain stem and our spine is developing, our bones are also being woven together. I learned something when my brother died. My brother wanted to be cremated. And, you know, I mean, we come from the burying people. We got to have a funeral and a coffin and go to the hole and all of that. My brother wanted to be buried, wanted to be cremated. And when I cremated my brother, I talked to the people in the crematorium because I wanted to know what was going on. What would happen? What, you know. And the lady said to me, everything, when the body is cremated, the two things don't burn, don't go to ash, the bones and the teeth. Did you know that? I did not know that. I thought when you cremate somebody, everything just turns to ash and they give it to you in a little urn. No. She told me the bones and the teeth don't burn. I found that very interesting. So I went to do my research. You know, I'm going to do some research. And I came to understand that teeth represent foundation. They're like bones. And bones are the genetic, historical, ancestral coming together of everything and everyone in our genetic line. She told me that they take the ashes from around and that's what they give you. They don't give you the bones and the teeth. They give you the ash because that represents the body, which is what we hold on to. And the bones, they discard. Did you know that? I didn't know that. But it taught me something. It said to me that every person, every being from the beginning of time that's had any influence on my life, what I look like, how I grow, what my body is, it's in my bones. It's in my bones. And that I can pull up that most ancient power in my bones. That day, when I had had enough of my husband, when I had enough of being beaten and dishonored and abused and disrespected, when I said no more to domestic violence, I took a breath and I pulled up the energy and the power from my bones. It's in your bones. It's in your bones. Your power, the memory, the genius, the divinity, whatever you need, the memory of it is in your bones. So we have to stop looking out. We have to shift from survival. We have to eliminate, move beyond the rage and breathe down and pull it up through the bones. It's in your bones. Your power is in your bones. The ancient wisdom is in your bones. The ancient secrets, it's in your bones. How your ancestors survived the slave ship. And you know they were on a slave ship because if your ancestors didn't survive the slave ship, you wouldn't be here. It's in your bones. If they survived the gas chambers in Germany, it's in your bones. If they survived the wars, the plagues of the country, it's in your bones. No matter where you are. And scriptures tell us, these dry bones shall live. It's in your bones. So, you have the power. We have the power to say no to this abuse. We have the power to say, to move beyond survival. We have the power to stop reacting in rage. We have the power. It's in our bones. Stretch, yoga, Tai Chi, anything that's going to stop and move us from beyond the surface, beyond the abuse, beyond the trauma, down into our bones. I taught you all that. I don't know why I had to bring you this message today, but I did. What you do with it is your business. Healing rage. But if you just keep walking around mealy-mouthing, complaining, and whining, it means that you aren't using the power of your bones. The body keeps score. Healing rage. Breathe. Call up your ancestors. And if you think that's going against Jesus, I don't know what to tell you, because Jesus was an ancestor. Call them up. The ones that laid in the bottom of a ship. The ones that pick cotton. We can't survive 8 hours of work sitting behind a desk, and they were in the field picking cotton for hours, for 12, 14 hours. The ones who figured out how to escape the Germanys and whoever, the Nazis or whatever, to survive. The ones that rode with Sitting Bull and that rode with White Cloud and Mountain Bear to survive the ravishing of their land. Call them up. You don't have to know their names. I'm calling forth the power of the ancestor in my bones to shift out of survival into divinity. Come on, somebody. All right, take a breath with me. I know you'll probably think I have lost my mind, maybe because tomorrow is my birthday and I'm just getting, wise woman. I'm the old wise woman. I just hope I don't end up with a whole bunch of cats living by myself. Okay. All right. What do I have for you? Listen, clean up your energy this week. Let me tell you that if you're a Masterpiece customer, HSN has our Masterpiece body washes, all of our 5 basic blends, 2 for 1 this week on HSN. They have clearing and releasing, because I don't have any on my website. Clearing and releasing, energize, purification, sweet attraction, and wellness. If you're working with healing rage, get you some wellness or some clearing and releasing. 2 8-ounce bottles for the price of 1 on HSN. Just go to HSN and type in Masterpiece, Peace. I'm telling you that because I would rather you have it than come through me and have to wait. HSN, Masterpiece is on sale 2 for 1. Tomorrow morning, Baba Kevin Green is doing his Qigong, which is another way that you can begin to connect with the genius in your bones, all right? Lukumi Temple at AOL.com, LUKUMI Temple at AOL.com. He'll send you the link. Dr. Ivy Hilton Sound Spa every Thursday night at 7 p.m. If you're still wanting to sign up for the Spiritual Warrior Self-Study Program that's starting in October, we're trying to get the new technology together so that it'll be easier for you. Just send me Spiritual Warrior Training waiting list at Iyanla.com. What else do I have to tell you? Thank you for all your birthday wishes. The Sound Spa is on YouTube, Dr. Ivy Hilton. Why am I sending you there? Because those sounds resonate in your bones. Why am I sending you to Ivy Hilton? Dr. Ivy Hilton or Dr. Ivy Sound Spa? Because those sounds resonate in your bones. So we can come out of survival, so that we can heal the trauma, so that we can live beyond the abuse we are experiencing. America is an abused woman. I'm not going into that again. Go to the Sound Spa. Get yourself healed. Get yourself some Masterpiece body wash so you can clean up your energy, black soap, herbs, and oils. And please be open. Please be, you got your check yourself cards. Yeah, that's another thing. I didn't pull a card today. You know why? My cards are, I moved. I'm not here all the time. But yeah, get your check yourself cards too. What else did I need to tell you other than I love you? I love you and appreciate you. Thank you, beloved. Happy birthday. I don't want to do anything for my birthday. I am going to make me some macaroni and cheese. Yeah, Virgos rock. I'm going to make me some macaroni and cheese. That's what I want. And so I'm going to eat that. I want you to have a good week. I want you to go back and listen to this again. I want you to spread this message. I want you to vote. I want you to vote. I've been putting up messages about voting. I've been talking about our ancestors. I've been talking about Sojourner Truth and Rosa Parks and Diane Nash and Ella Baker and Shirley Chisholm and Dorothy Height. I've been talking about them because they are ancestors, and they stood and fought for us. So we don't have to be abused. We can vote. We can vote. Okay? What else? I think that's it. I do have a closing prayer for us. All right? I thank you for hanging in there with me. I hope I haven't freaked you out today. Listen, I'm just obedient. I'm reading today from Get Over It. I'm reading today from Get Over It by yours truly. And I'm doing the prayer and the affirmation to neutralize, heal, and eliminate helplessness and hopelessness. Because helplessness and hopelessness are intrinsically wound into survival. All right? So I'm in Get Over It, and I'm reading the prayer and the affirmation to neutralize, heal, and eliminate helplessness and hopelessness so we can move out of survival. All right? Breathe with me. Good. Precious Lord, my Father, my mother, my friend, I come to you today seeking healing and the elimination of all thoughts, feelings, beliefs, behaviors, and generational and ancestral patterns that promote and support the spirit and experience of helplessness and hopelessness that has taken hold of me. Can you hear me? I come to you today to confess, heal, and eliminate all thoughts, feelings, beliefs, behaviors, and generational and ancestral patterns that have allowed me to believe that I am or have been stuck, trapped, defeated, overwhelmed, or incapacitated. I come to you today to confess and acknowledge that you are the strength and the power that I need moment by moment. I come to you today knowing that your love can and will lift me from the snare of all false messages, images, limiting thoughts, distorted beliefs, and harsh judgments I have held about myself and against myself. I come to you today with faith, knowing and believing what you can do and will do in me, for me, and as me when I ask and believe. I come to you today asking to be healed, to be restored, to be renewed, to be refreshed, to be reminded, and to remember the total and complete truth of who I am. I am the love of God, breathing, living, and moving by divine right. I am the purposeful power of God, breathing, living, and moving by divine grace. I am the wisdom of God, breathing, living, and moving as I open my mind and heart to greater, grander, and new possibilities. I am the vision of God, breathing, living, and moving through life to uncover and discover the outcome I desire. I feel a new way of being growing in me and as me. Thank you, God. Thank you, God, for lifting me above all thoughts, beliefs, behaviors, generational and ancestral patterns of helplessness and hopelessness into the purposeful wisdom, love, and power that is now breathing, living, and moving in me and as me. I ask, I allow, God becomes. I let it be so, and so it is. Deep bow. It's in your bones, beloved. Say no to the abuse. Turn within. Breathe. Release. You've got the power. It's in your bones. The body's keeping score. Do the healing. Bye.